Clark's Customer Experience Workshop, Session 1. I'm Cynthia Cruz, Customer Experience Director for Clark's Nutritional Centers and Natural Foods Markets. This is the first of a series of videos designed to help you succeed in the new position you have here at Clark's, where we believe that it's important to provide more excellent customer service. In Session 1, we'll be covering personality types and strengths, what customer experience means, and how what you are learning can help you provide more excellent customer service. Be excited that Clark's is investing in you. If you've been given a notebook, it corresponds to this course. Please write in it and make notes as you will. This is yours to keep. If you have any questions, you may jot them down on the top lines and save the notes to ask your supervisor later. A brief but simple quiz will be administered after the conclusion of this material. Don't worry. Paying attention and making notes as the video instructs will help you to do well on the quiz. First, what is the slogan for Clark's Nutrition? Live better. We can help. Take a moment to jot that down in your notebook if you haven't already. Personality types and strengths. People are different from each other in very fundamental ways. Different means different from you, but not wrong. This segment is designed to help you learn the gifts and strengths of yourself, your customers, and those you work with, and note different personality types and the way to work best with them. And then think of how you can use this knowledge of personality types to exceed expectations with your customer service. With no right or wrong answers, which is most attractive to and best describes you? Do people consider you introverted? Do you gain energy by being alone? Do you tend to think first and then act? Or do people consider you extroverted? Do you gain energy by being with others? Do you tend to act first and then reflect? I know sometimes it's tough to choose. As we mature, we tend to balance out our strengths or innate tendencies so that if you find you're a little of both, that's fine. But try to choose the one that sounds most like the person you were when you were born. Mark I for introvert or E for extrovert in the appropriate place in your notebook. Intuition. Are you innovative? Do you trust your hunches? Are you intuitive? Do you look for what's possible? Are you intrigued by the fascinating? Or sensation. Are you practical? Are you realistic? Are you actual? Are you considered no nonsense and down to earth? Which sounds more like you? Where did you answer yes the most? Keep in mind that you can be practical and innovative, yet which is your most natural tendency? Do you help your spouse, if you have one, realize what's necessary before accomplishing their idea? In this case, you may be S and they may be N. Mark N or S in the appropriate place in your notebook. Thinking. Do people consider you logical? Do you tend to be more objective than most? Or feeling? Do people consider you emotional? Do you tend to be more heartfelt than most? Which sounds more like you? Where did you answer yes the most? Mark T or F in your notebook. Judging, or J. Do you prefer closure in the settling of things? Or perceiving, P. Do you prefer to keep your options open and fluid? Which sounds more like you? Mark J or P in your notebook. 4 letters will apply to you. Each combination of letters has special strengths. Mark your 4 letters in your notebook. These 4 letters represent your Myers-Briggs strengths. There are 16 possible Myers-Briggs combinations. There's another personality test out there, and it has only 4 possible personality types. But because it creates a picture in our minds, it's a little easier to use in practice. So this may help you also understand others in a more memorable way. Obviously, we're not animals, but the strengths of our personalities lend themselves to be represented best in a picture. Otters are people-oriented. Lions are task-oriented leaders. Retrievers are the faithful 30 to 40-year employees. And beavers are the engineers of the world. Each personality type has strengths and weaknesses. For example, a person with a choleric or dominant personality type, like a lion, may have strengths such as being visionary and a leader, and they may also tend toward weaknesses like being cold or unemotional. A person with a sanguine personality, also known as the otter, is known for influence and may come across as outgoing and exciting to be around, but they have weaknesses such as being undisciplined or a tendency toward being late. A person with a phlegmatic personality is likely to be thought of as being steady. Their strengths may include being dependable and easygoing, but they may have a tendency to overcome their lack of motivation or indecisiveness. A person with a melancholy personality or a beaver may be analytical and self-disciplined, but may have weaknesses such as moodiness or self-centeredness. Learn the gifts and strengths of yourself, your customers, and those you work with. Take note of different personality types and how you can work best with them. If two lions go at it, you can tell that they'll likely be fine, even if it gets a little loud. An otter can make a lion crazy with a focus on feelings instead of tasks. Two beavers might debate on an issue all day, but they'll have thought out every detail, and the result is a great decision. If you see a lion and an otter or a golden retriever go at it, there are likely to be some hurt feelings on the side opposite the lion. Know who you need to be a bit more gentle with, and know who just wants to get the job done. SJs or lions may need to work not to appear abrasive to a customer who's an intuitive feeler. Take note at how many of our customers are intuitive feelers. I don't know if this industry attracts more intuitive feelers than other industries, or if it's concern for one's health that lends itself to putting people in a more vulnerable position. Maybe it's a little of both. But realize that different personality types fundamentally see things differently than you do. Think of it as though each of us are running on a different frequency. The people you have conflict with are often just like you or totally the opposite of you. Learn the personality types of yourself, your customers, and those you work with to help you work more effectively with them. There is so much more to learn, even if you already know about personality types. Practice using this to your advantage when you're on the floor. We use this knowledge of personality types to exceed expectations with our customer service. The whole picture of the service a customer receives is called the customer experience. At Clark's, this customer experience involves all the letters in Clark's. C is for customer service excellence and exceeding expectations. L is for listening. A is for attitudes worth following. R is for being reliable. K is for knowledgeable staff. And S is for serving others. Please take a moment to write this in your notebook, what the letter C in Clark stands for. Customer service excellence, or exceeding expectations, begins with leaving your personal life at the door. Your primary concern is for the customer, and honestly, serving in this way can make work much more fun. You're likely already doing this, but let's watch the impromptu video. May I help you?
Oh, do you need some help?
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
looking for some mascara.
I'm not really up to mascara issues. Maybe I'll find somebody who can help you out. Let me finish this up first, though, and I'll get right to it.
What would you do differently? Did you see anything that Starkey did right in this video? Customer service excellence and exceeding expectations also requires essential communication skills, like a smile. It's more than just an expression. It's an attitude. And yes, people can tell when you're smiling on the telephone. So smile when greeting a customer in person or over the phone. Always acknowledge the customer first before they acknowledge you. You are glad to be here and you are glad that they are here. This by itself can help create an atmosphere at work that you enjoy. Your goal is to help people feel comfortable. You want them to look forward to visiting Clark's, to visiting you. Stop working or talking as soon as customers approach. Remember, a customer doesn't want to hear about your upcoming break or life's problems. There's definitely a place for challenges, but usually they'd be reserved for someone who can help you to solve them, like a supervisor. You can ask, "How may I help you?" Seek out customers to help when not already helping one. Of course, you don't want to go hide or wait for them to find you. And one of the most important things in providing excellent customer service is that at Clark's, we walk customers to the product they're looking for, or we introduce them to the person who can help them. Have you ever gone into a store looking for a product and have the employee point and say, "It's down on the back side of aisle 37. And you're like, "I don't even know where aisle 37 is. How frustrated does that make you? I know I avoid those stores unless I really have to get something from them. Think about where you have experienced the most excellent customer service. At a high-end store, one might think of Nordstrom. On a daily basis, I know I always think of In-N-Out. Think about this. What about their service made it feel excellent to you? People are different from each other in very fundamental ways. Different means different from you, but not wrong. Learn the gifts and strengths of yourself, customers, and those you work with, and note different personality types and the way to work best with them. How can I encourage them or learn from them? Think about how you can use this knowledge of personality types to exceed expectations with your customer service. This may vary a little depending upon your position here, but here are some things to ask yourself, whether you're a nutritional consultant or serving Clark's in some other capacity. Do I smile from my heart? Do I acknowledge the customer first? Am I glad to be here? Do I actively seek out customers to help? Do I always stop staff-to-staff conversation when a customer is near? Do I walk with the customer to find the product or introduce them to someone who can? Do I leave my food in the break room? And of course, you're welcome to have a beverage hidden on the floor when you're working there. Do I serve people better because of my knowledge of personality types? If you're a cashier, you might ask yourself, do I greet everyone as they enter? Do I enjoy conversing with my customer? I might ask, were you able to find everything you were looking for? Did a nutritional consultant help you today? If so, who helped you? That is a really good question. A lot of people ask that. Let me find a nutritional consultant to help you. Do I remember, peek at card or receipt, and say their name? Thank you, Ms. Jones. Acknowledging people by name is a great way to let them know that they're important to us. If you're in operations, ask yourself, am I the first one to smile and say hello when I see a customer approach? I never pretend that I don't see them. After 20 seconds or so, do I ask, are you finding everything all right? Or is there something I can help you find? That is a really good question. A lot of people ask that. Let me find a nutritional consultant to help you. Do I walk customers to the product that they are looking for? Do I remember that in spite of the work that needs to be done, the customer is the first priority? After all, the customer is the only reason that we have work to do in the first place. Finally, take a moment to copy the acronym for Clark's in your notebook. We'll be repeating this in each video, but it'll help engrave it in your mind so you'll be prepared if anyone asks you, what does Clark's stand for? Here's a little hint. You made it! Congratulations on completing session 1.